Something shocking happened in the skies over Tel Aviv, and people are still trying to understand the terrifying moments that followed. Sirens screamed through the city as bright streaks of light suddenly appeared above the night skyline. Within seconds, massive explosions echoed across multiple neighborhoods, shaking buildings and sending people running for shelter. But what really happened during this missile attack, and why are experts saying this moment could change the region forever? Late in the evening, residents across Tel Aviv were going about their normal routines when the first warning sirens suddenly erupted. Families rushed toward bomb shelters while phones buzzed with emergency alerts from Israeli authorities. Moments later, witnesses looked up and saw several missile trails racing through the dark sky at incredible speed. And then came the explosions that turned an ordinary night into one of the most frightening nights the city has experienced in years. According to early reports, the missiles were launched during a rapidly escalating confrontation involving Iran and rising regional tensions. Defense systems immediately activated, attempting to intercept the incoming threats before they reached the city. The Israeli missile defense network lit up the sky as interceptor rockets launched one after another. But wait till you hear this part, because the situation became far more chaotic than anyone expected. Residents described the sky as looking like a scene from a movie, with flashes, smoke trails, and thunderous blasts echoing through the air. Some missiles were successfully intercepted high above the city, exploding in bright bursts of light that could be seen from miles away. However, several projectiles appeared to slip through the defense shield and strike different areas around Tel Aviv. Those impacts triggered powerful explosions that rattled windows and sent shockwaves through nearby streets. Emergency responders rushed through the city while sirens continued to wail in the background. Firefighters and medical teams moved quickly to assess damage in neighborhoods where explosions were reported. Videos circulating online showed thick smoke rising above buildings as residents gathered outside shelters in shock. For many people, the sound of those blasts will be something they never forget. Now, it is important to understand that Israel has one of the most advanced missile defense systems in the world. Systems like the Iron Dome are designed to track incoming rockets and destroy them before they hit populated areas. Radar identifies the threat, calculates its trajectory, and launches an interceptor missile within seconds. But even the most advanced systems can face overwhelming challenges during large-scale attacks. Military analysts say that when multiple missiles arrive almost simultaneously, defense systems must prioritize the most dangerous threats. That means some rockets may fall if they are predicted to land in less populated areas. However, in chaotic situations, trajectories can shift and interceptions can become extremely complex. And this is where the night over Tel Aviv took an even more dramatic turn. One witness standing on a rooftop described seeing something strange just moments before one of the explosions. He claimed a bright object suddenly split into several smaller streaks before vanishing behind nearby buildings. Seconds later, a powerful blast shook the area and briefly cut electricity in parts of the neighborhood. Whether that moment was a defensive interception or something else entirely is still being investigated. Another dramatic moment unfolded near the coastline when a huge flash lit up the horizon like lightning. People on the beach reported feeling a deep rumble beneath their feet as the explosion echoed across the water. For a few seconds, the sky above the Mediterranean glowed orange as debris or interceptor fragments fell into the sea. Some witnesses even said it felt like the entire city paused in silence before the sirens began again. Meanwhile, in underground shelters, families waited nervously while listening to distant booms echo through the city. Parents tried to calm frightened children while checking their phones for updates from the outside world. Messages spread quickly through social media, some accurate and some wildly exaggerated. And in moments like these, confusion can spread almost as fast as the missiles themselves. Israeli defense officials later confirmed that multiple missiles had indeed been launched toward the region. Several of them were intercepted successfully by defense systems before reaching the city. However, a few impacts were reported in different areas, causing damage and triggering emergency response operations. Authorities quickly moved to secure affected zones and assess the situation. Security experts warned that these types of attacks highlight the fragile balance of power in the Middle East. Missile technology has advanced rapidly in recent years, increasing both range and destructive capability. At the same time, defense systems are constantly evolving to counter those threats. This creates a tense technological race between offense and defense. What happened in Tel Aviv that night demonstrates both the power and the limits of modern defense systems. While many missiles were intercepted successfully, even a small number of impacts can cause significant fear and disruption. Cities under threat must rely on preparation, warning systems, and rapid response to protect civilians. And what happened next will surprise many people who assumed such systems could stop everything. As the smoke slowly cleared and emergency teams continued their work, the city began to return to a cautious calm. Residents stepped outside shelters, looking at the night sky that had just hours earlier been filled with explosions. For many people, the images of streaking missiles and thunderous blasts will remain etched in their memories. But the bigger question now is what this event means for the future of the region. Tensions remain high, and leaders across the world are watching developments very closely. Every missile intercepted or explosion reported adds another layer of complexity to an already fragile situation. What happened over Tel Aviv may be remembered as just another incident, or it could become a turning point. Only time will reveal the true impact of that terrifying night. If you found this story intense and eye-opening, then stay with us for more deep and dramatic breakdowns of the world's biggest events. We bring you real facts, powerful storytelling, and the kind of details that make every story impossible to ignore. And trust me, some of the next stories are even more unbelievable than this one. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments what you think about this situation.